Dave knows how.
Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, hopefully it's going to be kind of short, but you know how that goes. Had a question from one of my subscribers, left a question in the comment section on one of my videos about using the backhoe and learning to use a backhoe. And this gentleman is getting ready to put a backhoe on the back of his Kubota tractor. I think he said it's going to be a BH92. That's a pretty good sized backhoe. Sounds like he's got a really nice machine. 47 or 49 horsepower, I think he said. I can't remember correctly. But wow, that's a powerful tractor. Very nice backhoe. Anyway, the question he had was, he was debating whether or not to buy a quick attach for the bucket on the backhoe, or to just buy one size bucket. And if he went with one size bucket, he wanted to know what was the best all-round size bucket in my opinion. And you know me, I like to give my opinion, so let's get on to my opinion. And of course, my opinion is the best size bucket to have on a backhoe is the size that I have. Who would have thunk it, right? But all kidding aside, it probably is the best size bucket to have. And my bucket is 16-inch. A 16-inch bucket is probably the best all-round size bucket to have on a backhoe if you're going to be doing various different things with your backhoe. You can trench with it. Granted, the trench for electrical wire is going to be a little wide. Now, if you're trenching for a drain line, then you need a minimum of a 16-inch wide bucket, because you actually need to get down in the trench. And if you just have a trenching bucket, which is very narrow, you can't put a drain line in there and then get down in there and make sure that drain is running downhill and glue those pipes together down in the ditch. If you're just running electrical wires, then you could get away with a trenching bucket. But the 16-inch bucket can serve its purpose for both of those different scenarios. It also does a pretty good job digging up stumps if you do it correctly and cautiously. And you can watch my video about digging up stumps, and I'll try to put a link up here somewhere to that video so that you can check that out. We had a guy that actually bent and broke a hydraulic cylinder because he just got a little bit, well, I won't say he got too aggressive, but he had a malfunction in the machine and the relief valve didn't kick in, and it ended up overtaxing this and breaking it. This is the type of thing that can happen, and if you're being cautious, you're more likely to notice that's happening than if you just go at it full tilt and just try to rip things apart. With the backhoe, it's a game of finesse, and you got to strategically do what you're going to do to get the job done. So it's not, you know, it's not as brute a force as what you think it is. Everything in life is fragile, you know, we're all fragile. Our equipment's fragile too. We need to use it within its limitations. Let's get back on track. 16-inch bucket, great bucket, love that size. It moves a lot of dirt. I'll tell you somebody else that went with a 16-inch bucket now. Tractor Time with Tim. I don't know if you guys have ever watched his channel. Now, he does ride the green tractor, but hey, green tractors are nice tractors. I can't stress that enough. In fact, if you look back through some of my videos, you'll see where I was actually a John Deere guy, and I had a green tractor right here on the property. So, you know, I've had green tractors, I've had red tractors, Farmalls, got the Kubota now, and love the Kubota. But Tractor Time with Tim, you can check out his channel. He actually upgraded from the bucket he had. I can't remember what size bucket he had. I want to say it was a 12-inch bucket, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But whatever the size bucket he had, it was smaller. He went to the 16-inch bucket, and he loves it. And he talks about that on his channel, and it just gave me confirmation that I had the right bucket too, right? So appreciate that, Tim. Anyway, check Tim's channel out, and he's got a lot of good videos, a lot of good stuff going on over there. Very, very nice people. So I always enjoy watching his videos. So anyway, getting back to the question, this guy was talking about the quick attach system for the backhoe, and man, wouldn't that be so cool? I can't help, you know, I'm jealous, okay? If I was working every day and I had the money, I would put a quick attach on here, okay? Because I really think that's cool. And there are times when I would have liked to have dug a narrow trench to put on an electrical line, and I didn't have a small trenching bucket. And this 16-inch bucket, you know, it's going to pull a lot of dirt out of the ground. And when you go digging, say you're digging a underground electrical line for a shed, you're going to use direct burial cable, you're required to go 24 inches deep. Well, if you dig down 24 inches deep with a 16-inch bucket, just for a trench for a piece of wire that's as big around as my thumb, it's kind of overkill, and you're going to end up with a large footprint of where you dug that ditch at, because you're pulling a lot of soil out of there 16 inches at a time. That's a lot of soil to be putting in your spoil pile and then have to be put back in the ditch and tamped down. If you had a trenching bucket, it would be a lot narrower trench, and you could still go deep. The only thing that I don't like about the trenching bucket is I would think you would have a hard time seeing stuff like cable TV wire or something like that that you might hit that's underground. But, you know, hey, you hit it with a 16-inch bucket too. So, you know, 6 one, half a dozen the other. Got to be careful when you're digging. I can't recall a time that I thought, you know, I really wish I had a wider bucket. Except for maybe one instance. And that one instance would be if I was trying to level out a place for an above ground swimming pool. And it was, you know, hilled up pretty good. A wider bucket, like a 36-inch bucket, or a, you know, however wide they go. I mean, I don't even know exactly how wide you can get a bucket to go on that size or this size backhoe. I imagine 36 is probably around the widest size, maybe 48 or 42 or something like that. But a bucket like that would come in handy if you pulled the teeth off, okay, and then used it to level out an area for an above ground pool. And, you know, just use that slight scraping action back. Because it's wide, you can see a wider span and see what level is. Sort of like the same thing if you tried to level a large span with a small torpedo level, or if you tried to level a larger span with a 4 foot or 6 foot level. The accuracy is going to be much better with a larger, longer level over a longer span than a narrow level over a larger span, like for a swimming pool. So that would really be the only time that I would want a wider bucket, honestly. Does that happen? Well, if you're running an ad on Craigslist, or, you know, if you're running an ad to do tractor work and people are calling you because they want you to level out a place for an in-ground pool, then yeah, and you know, and if you are going to use your backhoe to do it, then absolutely a wider bucket would come in handy. A lot of guys would probably, you know, level it out a different way, using the front end loader or using the box blade or something like that. But a backhoe in some instances is really necessary to level for above ground swimming pool. In fact, a lot of guys that install above ground swimming pools actually use a track hoe, and they use a smooth edge bucket. They take the teeth off, and it's a wide bucket, and that's how they get it leveled out as close as possible. And then they put sand down and do the fine leveling at the end. So a wider bucket would come in handy for something like that. Or if you're digging graves, and if you're digging graves, then you need a bucket for digging graves that's wide enough to cover where that box is going to go down in the ground, so that the sides are smooth and straight, and you're just digging straight down, and it goes a lot faster, and you can move a lot of dirt. But if you can't get the quick attach, 16-inch bucket, in my opinion, is the way to go. It's the best of all worlds. You can do trenching with it. It is a little bit overkill for a small electrical wire, but if you're running a drain line, it's pretty much a minimum you can get away with is 16-inch, because you've got to get down in that trench and glue your stuff together, and you really need at least a 16-inch wide ditch to be able to get down in there, glue your pipes together, and be going on with it. Also, with a 16-inch bucket, you can dig your trench wider than 16 inches. You got to move over here and move over here a little bit, but you could make your trench, you could easily make your trench 20 inches wide, 24 inches wide, all the way down with this bucket, just by digging a little bit on each side as you go back. So a 16-inch bucket is the best all-round size bucket to have on the back of your Kubota tractor. I hope that answered the question, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's been a little while since I made a video, but it's been a hot, bumpy summer. I've been not doing a whole lot, actually, trying to keep my health going in the right direction. I appreciate everybody's been praying for me, thinking about me, and I've been getting emails from a few of you folks, and I really, really appreciate those emails and all the kind words and the help that the YouTube community has given me, and the, you know, just the moral support and people trying to lift my spirits has really meant a lot to me. I'll be the first one to admit I've been a little bit depressed lately, and but I try to keep smiling, I try to keep laughing, I try to make, I try to make light of it, so the best I can. Every day it doesn't work that way, but hey, you do what you can, right? So again, thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I appreciate the question about the backhoe bucket. It was a motivation that I needed to go forward and make another video, and it was a welcome distraction. So I appreciate the question a lot, and I hope I didn't rant too long, but hey, I love you guys, and I hope everybody's just having a blessed and wonderful summer. If it's summertime where you're at, I know some of the people that are watching, it's wintertime, and bundle up. It's hot out here. Y'all have a good day, and we'll catch you later.
Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.